introduction in the beginning. We're live. We're live. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me do this. Hello and welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews. How y'all doing? I just finished doing another show, and now I'm doing this show. You know why? Because I picked this movie. And what is the name of this movie? Tonight, we are doing Pulp Fiction, ladies and gentlemen. A 90s classic that I chose. And you want to know why I chose it? Because I never saw it. I've been meaning to see it for like a couple decades. But I never saw it. And now that I'm on Unpopular Review Entertainment, I decided to bring it to the group. And who is that group that's joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen? None other than Mr. Triple X, Mike Knox. And why is he not on stage? There you go. And the executive consultant. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man? It's good to see you. Just a full disclosure. I saw Pulp Fiction, but I never saw it from beginning to end. I never saw it straight through. And after watching the movie yesterday, I can tell you, I might have saw it straight through and didn't know it because the movie was right? That's how this movie was, but we'll talk about it.
Facts. So this movie was quite interesting because it starts with a robbery. And I'm just like, where the hell is this going? Because one thing about Quentin Tarantino movies is that a lot of times, yeah, that was interesting. That part was interesting. So a lot of times with these movies, one thing that'll happen is that you'll have all of these side conversations that have nothing to do with the plot, but then will just get you lost inside of what's going on, and then all of a sudden somebody will get shot and something buck wild will just happen. And for about the first hour of this movie, you know, there was a lot of that until all of a sudden somebody OD'd and it was just like, yo, what? You know what I mean? So the thing about this movie is just that I think I went into this wondering, all right, why did it get so much hype? Because if there's one thing that I remember is that especially like in the mid 90s, this thing got all the rage. Like it got all the hype, it got all the rage, and everybody was talking about it. I never really paid too much attention to it until now, but now I'm starting to understand what's going on. But I do have some regrets. Why? Because there's a certain part in this movie that I thought was original to another show. And that show is The Boondocks, right? So that whole what thing, I didn't realize that came from this movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
I did not realize that came from this movie. I thought that was Riley and the white guy and the whole thing with the young. I never realized that that was from this. I actually rewound this part a couple of times because I just found it so funny, right? But the reason I found it funny is because I associated it to that cartoon. But I wish I would have seen this originally, like, because, oh, man, Sammy being Sammy, ain't nothing better than Sammy being Sammy. You know what I'm saying? Especially 20 years ago, before he was Nick Fury. Oh, God, that was just amazing. I had a good time watching this, especially that part. You know, and mind you, this movie star-studded, man. Like, god damn, like they spent, at least Quentin spent, because man, he's got some hitters in this movie, and all of them are just doing an amazing job. You know, I could talk on and on, but I'm starting to get to the level of rambling. What'd you guys think?
You're above me, sir. You're next.
He's making us wait. What do you mean wait? Just
What
oh,
does
you're
that
gonna
mean?
put your little intro? Where's the little intro?
Oh no, because I gotta update that. I don't even want that intro anymore. I want to talk about a movie, right? This is a movie that came out in 2013. Some people might have heard it, some people might have heard it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. The movie's called Escape Plan, right? And you'll see how it's tying into this story. Some years ago, and I'm going to show my age, whatever. Some years ago, there was a little device that was outside most grocery stores. It was called Redbox. Right? And this was before, Netflix came out, was popular, and then, there was exclusive rights and all this stuff and their own content. But Redbox, and I was working at a grocery store at the time, was right outside that grocery store. So anytime I wanted to go see, a movie, I was bored, I would go to Redbox, see what's out, get it. The movie I picked up one weekend was Escape Plan. And I was watching it. It wasn't that interesting, but I was watching it. And then about midway through the movie, I said, hey, some things are going on I'm not sure I understand. He was here, and then he was there. And then he was there, and he was here. About 75% of the movie, I realized that the DVD was messed up, and it was jumping scenes. I felt so stupid. I immediately ejected it. Didn't even pay for it. They charged you $25. We'll talk about that another day. But I never watched the movie again to find out what I was missing because I was so mad at myself that I could not tell that it was jumping scenes. I was wondering why it looked like he was in prison and all of a sudden he wasn't in prison. He was back in prison. I never understood it. I was like, I will never be that dumb again. Then I went on the Max streaming service and I watched Pulp Fiction. And I'm watching Pulp Fiction and I see Samuel Jackson. No, actually, no. First, I'm watching Abomination and some other woman decide they want to rob a restaurant. Explain to you why they want to rob a restaurant. And I'm going a bit long. I'm on my Pastor James. Don't say it. Don't tell him I said that. I'm on my James type of stuff, right? So anyway, I'm watching it, and they decided to do a restaurant. Then Samuel Jackson and John Travolta go to this guy because they took something out of the briefcase, which you never find out. And he kills the guy over it, or
You
we
do
thought he
find
killed
out.
the guy, or he killed. Okay, fine. Kills the guy. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Next time I see them, they're not dressed in suits anymore. They're dressing down and all this other stuff. He's taking her out. He later gets killed. Some guy gets a whole bunch of crap. I don't know what's going on. And then they end up at a restaurant with the Abomination again. I said, God darn it, Redbox, you got me again. I felt the same level of stupidity watching this movie as I did watching Escape Plan. That's what I didn't like. What I did like about the movie is every scene, and I talked offline with this earlier today with Mike Knox. Every scene was Samuel L. Jackson in it. He stole. And that's not saying anything negative about John Travolta, who did a fantastic job in this movie. Uma Thurman did her thing in this movie. Ving Rhames. Everybody did their thing. This movie was very well acted. But Samuel L. Jackson stole this movie to me. My favorite line is, well, two favorite lines is one, oh, I'm sorry, did I break your concentration? And then two, when he said, I didn't ask you for a god thing. Loved it. Is it going to sway my decision? You're going to have to find out because I'm telling you right now, this movie confused the freak out of me. Mr.
This movie is about two hitmen with a lot of philosophical discussions. With the Abomination, Tim Roth, in this movie, budget of $8.5 million that made $213 million from a movie at Sundance. I'm gonna go opposite of things I did not like first. I have never, to this day, will I ever understand the love for a Quentin Tarantino movie that's not named From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the only Quentin Tarantino movie to me that, well, that's not fair because he did make Kill Bill. Okay? I give him that. Didn't need Kill Bill 2, but I take it. But you take those 3 movies out of his franchise, and I just think the man has a pen and paper just waiting to say the word ninja and get away with it. If you've not seen Django, the J is silent. It's N-word, 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 N-word. I thought I was watching Cat Williams all over Club Shay Shay all over again. Okay? That's my thing I didn't like about the movie. I'll agree with you. The acting, it's just, I mean, geez, you can't. I think personally, this was Samuel Jackson's coming out party. I think this is the movie to me that made people say, let's get this guy on the map. You got John Travolta, Samuel Jackson, like you say, Uma Thurman, Bruce Willis is in this damn film. Okay, Christopher Walken's in this damn film. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, Peter Green. I can't even name how many celebrities were in this movie, but not young, because he had been a while for around Samuel Jackson, but he finally gets that breakout role in playing this. And I think he did a phenomenal job. I think he did steal the movie. I think, however, in 1994, that's 30 years ago, I know that because this is my 30th year high school reunion coming up this year when this movie came out. And it was a bunch of hype. I think it's what they say if you know about the industry. Everything's great when it comes out of Sundance, but most of us only look for a reason to go to Utah to have sex with a Mormon. Okay, and that's what happened at the premiere of this movie. I think everybody was just having sex, bumping uglies around the place, and he said, "Oh, this is a great film," and it had a lot of great things in it. But where did it stand? Does it stand the test of time? 1984, 30 years later, y'all gotta say it's a 30-year-old movie. As we tribute y'all to the 90s. So listen, we'll be right back. I'm going to take a break, go pay some bills, say what's coming up next week on Unpop Review Entertainment. There's a lot of things going on in the neighborhood. We're just not out here just pushing kids, by the way. We're bigger than that. We'll be right back, y'all.
The cloud has fundamentally altered our DNA.
Victor, you always thought you were a god.
Let's not fight.
No, let's.
His name is Zoolander. Derek Zoolander. International male supermodel. But behind those eyes is a highly trained man of action.
You rock. No, you rock.
And perhaps the world's only hope of stopping a sinister assassination plot. Zoolander.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Zoolander, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be on next Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. sharp. And then, of course, next Thursday. All of these movies are 2000 movies. Our theme for this month is Best of 2000. Next Thursday is going to be The Fantastic Four from 2005. Tuesday's movie is picked by none other than the Next Doctor. Next Thursday's pick is picked by none other than the executive consultant. But like I said, I should have picked Silent Hill. I really should have picked Silent Hill. Oh, well, Fantastic Four it is. I've been wanting to review that for a while. Low-key, one of my favorite superhero movies.
Cool stuff. Well,
as a hush comes over the crowd.
Yeah. Well, speaking about this movie again, one thing that I appreciated was, and I was a little nostalgic for, was the conversation. You know why? Because back then, you could sit on a stoop and just have a conversation about random things and not necessarily mean them, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like they were just having conversations about some of the most random things, especially this whole conversation about a foot rub, how they were just going back and forth as to their different opinions about a foot rub. It felt very radio, kind of like listening to a conversation on the Breakfast Club about just random things. You know,
the Mike Knox show.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. But the point is just that you can see that at the time those type of things that were more valued. as opposed to no. I mean, yes, we have our podcast and we have all these things, but the thing is that clearly we do all these things for monetization. So there's a purpose behind it. Like back then, people were just having these conversations just for the sake of the conversation. And I felt that it kind of encapsulated that whole situation of that time, because the conversations were just weird. A lot of them were just strange. They had nothing to do with the plot and the story, but it was just funny how people could just get together and be entertained by that kind of thing, which was very, very interesting. So I really like that about this movie. And other than that, just the entire craziness of how John Travolta was literally about to screw the boss's wife, and she was giving them all the flirts and all of that, and then all of a sudden she ends up ODing on coke.
No, that was the thing. That was her problem. That's what people don't understand about drug people. You don't just go in somebody's pocket and take somebody's drugs, Vic. The man you saw before, it was hair. Right, but remember beforehand, he was going to pick him up. He had already shot up with the needle. Did he do? He put the heroin in his pocket, right? Coke don't do that to your face and nose. That's booger sugar. That wasn't no sugar in that booger. Okay, that was straight up hair. That was heroin. Okay, and that's why she overdosed, because she snorted some god-darn heroin. Okay, but that teaches you a lesson, kids out there and adults. Don't just be taking people drugs. You don't know what's in them.
Facts.
Okay. So
be popping people's pills just because they in the cabinet when you're in the bathroom. Okay, stop being nosy.
Say, may he rest in peace. That was one of the sad things about Matthew Perry, that he said on the interview. He said he was going around and open houses, going to people's bathroom, trying to take their drugs out their bathrooms. You know what I mean? Let's not be a Uma Thurman. Okay, and take somebody's drugs. Even though, was the milkshake worth $5? That's the biggest question. And I want to actually go to Paris, France, Vic, and ask for Royale with cheese.
Okay. That sounds tasty. That sounds like a tasty meal. Because Paris got everything popping.
Not the one with all them cheeses on it though. Remember they had a couple months ago. They said they came out with it had like 20 slices of cheese. One that said it was like a real sandwich in France. People thought it was a fake picture, but it's actually a real thing. We had like 20 pieces of cheese on a sesame seed bun at McDonald's. That they sell. So
they wild. Nah, that's too much. But most of this stuff looks really, really good. I can tell from experience in Paris. But yeah, man, Pulp Fiction was popping. Are we supposed to do a thumbs up and thumbs down?
You have any quotables through this film? Because I think there's a ton of them. What? See, I wish we could play that clip and not get kicked off the air.
What?
For he said, "Say what one more time, mother." He said, "Do you think he looked like a girl?" Said what? Pow! He said, "Say it one more time. Say it. I swear to God, say what one more time." Like he completely question. Is that Jerry Seinfeld that comes out the bathroom? In the one scene, that's not Jerry Seinfeld?
That would be hilarious if it is.
Okay, I've always thought that guy was Jerry Seinfeld that came out the bathroom until today when I rewatched it. I myself, I've also watched this movie several times, right? And I'm like you, Chris. I think it's funny when you said it. We didn't talk about this off air. I literally always thought I always missed the movie because I literally got up from watching it. I'm walking in my bedroom. I told my wife, I said, "All right, that's about the fourth or fifth time I've seen it." And I still don't. So maybe Vic, you can help me out here. I still don't quite understand what I'm watching. I get because I get it. Like it's about the drug dealer. They're hitmen, right? One of the hitmen says, "Here, take my wife out." The foot rub was about the one guy took her out and he threw him off the building because he gave her a foot rub. And they were debating, well, what's worse, a foot rub or going down below, and which was worse. And I'm with Vincent's character, saying it's a lot worse to go down on a woman, on your boss's wife, than giving her a foot massage. That's a petty thing to try to kill somebody over. Then he's trying to fix the fight, which is Bruce Willis's character, that Bruce Willis decides, I'm not going to fix the fight. I got to win the fight. And then that's what other plot was them she overdoses, getting him off the drugs. It was just a wild, crazy story that I do believe would happen somewhere in the Hollywood Hills, though. That's the believable part about a movie like this, is that No offense, white people. Y'all have parties and dates like this. Okay, it's just what it is when you got money to just throw away, and they do. So you got any quotables, Vic?
What?
That was it. Stone Cold.
Yes, right. Yo, that's the most memorable thing right now because, like I said before, like I was just when I saw that scene, I was just picturing Riley in the back seat, going, "What?" And I'm just like, "Say what again? Say what again?" I don't know a country name. What?
I remember that episode too. Executive Consultant, you got any quotables?
I thought the movie had a lot of quotables. I mentioned some of them earlier from Samuel L. Jackson. A lot of people know me, right? That's on this very program, spanning from New York to, D.C., Maryland, Atlanta, here in Florida. But people who know me know there's a certain word that I don't like, right? That word
I say it
begins
every day.
with an N.
I say it every day. Makes you mad.
I hate that word. I can't stand that word, right? I've gotten used to hearing it because depending on who it is, I mean, that's just, that's the culture. That's the way they say it. It's fine. Whatever. This is something Mike and I also talked about off air earlier today. Quentin Tarantino. I know you're watching.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. While y'all all watching, you've been here this long, like, follow, and subscribe, and share, please.
Definitely subscribe. Quentin Tarantino, I know you're watching. I never, and shout out to Mike Knox, because most time when I say this about people, I say this about Quentin Tarantino movies, everybody looking like, oh, how dare you not like a Quentin Tarantino movie? I'm not a fan, right? I've never been. Granted, I was a little interested when they said he might direct Star Trek. I was like, I wonder how this is going to look, right? And I did like Django. But the way he is so comfortable with the racism in all his movies bothers the hell out of me. And I feel like it's low-key because this is how he wants to live his life. That N-word was way too frequent in that movie. We used way too much. And I'm going to go to something that everybody knows who's been watching this show for 4 or 5 years now knows my buttons that's triggered. I don't get offended. I don't get bothered by certain things. But when I am bothered. It's part of the movie, so I'm not bashing it. It's not going to sway my decision. But the rape scene, right?
I'm just going to bring it up. Why they got to call? Why they got to call him that was so, go ahead.
So when I sit here and I say that Quentin Tarantino, I think, uses his movies to live out the life he wants to live, I think a part of him actually enjoyed filming that scene. I really do. Because he's able to bend a black man, a large black man over, because that's not a small dude, right?
That's Ving Rhames.
Large
that's
black
Melvin.
dude.
You want some breakfast?
And here's something else. Here's something else that's important. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know for a fact. I don't know. I'm not in this man's head. I don't know him. I can't speak on it. I'm just saying from what I see. This man was a powerful character in the early 90s. It's not like today, okay, where we have much more prominent power. Now, granted, we had a lot more power, back then. People don't pay attention to it, but we did. But racism was a lot more rampant back then, right? This is a large black man in the 90s, a large black man that had a lot of power in the second largest city in the country and was dominant. And for him to get two white men to take him, bend him over, and go to town, and they visualize it. It wasn't even just sound. You heard it for minutes because it was going on for a while. And then to visualize and see it. Now, granted, yes, he got his comeuppance about it because he always likes to be down with the black man. But realistically speaking, I think there's something wrong there. And I think people need to pay attention. The only other thing I'll mention about this movie, were we doing thumbs up, thumbs down yet?
I was doing quotables, but are you trying to say that
he secretly has a fantasy about screwing a black man? Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's
Melvin.
exactly what I'm saying.
Damn, Melvin. He said, he was trying to fix me some breakfast. Sitting there all naked, drinking up all the Kool-Aid. Shout out to Baby Boy. I got to go with my man, the Wolf. Just because you're a character don't mean you have character. Like, the movie, when you think about it and you talk about it, it is actually acted and portrayed, and everything they're doing is so great. But you have a line that says, is it more entertaining than the Batman? I know I'm jumping a little scene there. For me, I want to copy that and say, was it more entertaining than The Last Black Man in San Francisco? Because that movie was absolutely horrible, but I thought the acting was insane. And I want to kind of lend that to this. But another quotable, I think you guys already said them. You said the one, I believe you said it earlier. I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? That's the line right there.
He was talking boosh. I love it. You're right.
So I guess we go to Vic. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up, because it was entertaining. It kept me captivated. I mean, honestly, like if I'm watching a movie and I'm not constantly like moving around, paying attention to other things, and only listening to it, then it's a thumbs up for me because I certainly wasn't bored. And I've been wanting to see this for a long time because I never really got to see it. So, yeah, thumbs up.
Spoiler alert. Vic with a thumbs up. Executive consultant.
I agree. I'm sorry. Did I break your conscience? I love it. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. I love that scene. I love that line. I love the line where he said, I don't remember asking you for I love that line. So it was not just the line itself. It was the delivery. Loved it. There are a lot of scenes I'm looking at. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, because it's just, and this is coming from someone who watches soap operas, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It was just a lot of dialogue, certain scenes. I'm like, what the freak is going on, right? What the freak is going on? When they were talking about the foot job, or, the foot rub massage, and I was like, are we getting to what's going on? What's happening here? I'm like, you got to, and mind you, I'll admit, John Travolta's character, I forgot his name right now.
Vincent.
John made him believe right because at first I was like, foot rubs, no. And then he said, would you give a man a foot rub?
Yeah.
Like,
Facts, yeah.
That did change it.
How many times have I said to either one of you, I said, winning an argument was easy. All you have to do is make it make sense. He made it make sense to me. You win.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
I saw that scene at the end. It's when Samuel John Jackson was talking to Nick Fury was talking to Abomination. He said, "You're gonna take this 1500. You're gonna go. Take your wife with you, who was annoying me. The only character in the movie I didn't like, by the way. No, there's two. Bruce Willis' girlfriend.
Oh,
Bruce Willis' girlfriend.
Stupid. He said, "What's the one effing thing I asked her not to do?"
Right, but he was all boo loving with her. I was getting sick to my stomach. That was the only thing I didn't like. But besides that, it was fine. And her. But anyway, it was fine. Cool, right? So then they're in these clothes and they get up and they go out the door. Next thing I know, I see credits. I said, you gotta be freaking kidding me. They got me again, Red Box. I was like, that was the end of the movie? That was the end of the movie? That's it?
There it is. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, but I enjoyed every scene.
A lot of his movies.
As much as it drove me nuts, and it still drives me nuts, I'm still racking my brain behind it. I have so many things wrong. I still enjoyed the movie and was never bored.
Mm-hmm.
Would I watch it? Probably not. But I definitely did enjoy the movie. So is it better than the Batman? Yeah. But even if I didn't draw the line of Batman, I probably still would have given it a thumbs up. But Quentin Tarantino, to steal a line from somebody who just returned on Monday night again, to challenge the tribal chief to head the table, but notice he didn't do that shit on SmackDown. You sick freak!
I'm gonna go medieval on his ass. I'm gonna get some homeboys to come in here like to go real deep. Get medieval on his ass. This movie confused me 30 years ago. It confuses me every decade I've tried to watch it. I literally cannot make this up when I tell you I tried to watch this movie. This is about the 5th time I've seen it. And every time I feel like I've missed something because the way that it skips around. To say was I entertained, yes, it's good acting. It has comedy things in it, but that doesn't make a good movie. That just means entertaining. I mean, hell, I'm a guy who just sat here and told you guys that Old School is one of the greatest comedies of all time. Again, comedy's way different than this is supposed to be because comedy is subjective. What makes you laugh makes you laugh. But here I go. I guess I do say it. I don't care. I am what I am, and that's all I am. And that's a studio production major. As you're taught to put a script together, who the fuck told Quentin Tarantino that this was a good idea? And how can it make $213 million when this movie makes absolutely no sense? It makes no sense, no sense, no sense. And you're right, Chris. They don't show you what's in there. You just assume, oh, it's the Bible. You assume that they're archangels because they don't get killed. But then did they get killed? Because Bruce Willis killed Vincent in the bathroom. Right? It's confusing. I do not understand what I've watched. I've watched it repeatedly over and over again. So because of that, I cannot just say it's entertaining. Hell, there are some songs I actually like by Cardi B. I'm not going to play her album. So for me, I have to give it a thumbs down because I've watched it too many times and I still have never understood this movie. Is it funny? Yeah, it is. Is it entertaining? Yes. Is it acting good? Yes. But damn it, a movie's supposed to make sense. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So, and not that I didn't enjoy it, Vic. Not that all the things I just said is true. I just want to know what the fuck I'm watching. And to this day, 30 years later, I have no idea. I read the overview. I put the show together for tonight. I still don't know what it's about. And because of that, a thumbs down for me. But thanks for making me watch it again because I was curious. And honestly, before you picked it, I kept saying to myself, I'm going to watch Pulp Fiction again. You know, we'll see what the hype is. Because that's how I do. I want to know why people like it so bad. I finally watched Scarface. Why do everybody love Scarface? Scarface. I think Scarface is dog shit. It just doesn't make sense to me. But again, who am I to know what I know? I know no more than you guys know.
It encapsulates what people think. Scarface encapsulates what people think they're going to achieve when they come into this country.
Yeah, the Colombians and the people that come from other places. Yeah, you know what? My ancestors helped build this country. Guess what? And it ain't nothing here for America for you if you so that's just what it is. Okay, we built the railroads, we built the highways and byways and all that stuff. In the words of Cat Williams, I'm just glad I know I can die and go to heaven, knowing my backside is a virgin. Vic, take us out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us in another edition of Unpopular Review Entertainment. Tonight was Pulp Fiction, and it was a good time. Thank you for joining us. Like, share, love, subscribe. Join us in all of our different shows. The Executive Consultant Show, the Mike Knox Show, the Root Show, all of the shows, every single show, all the wrestling shows. Watch us on Saturday because we're going to talk about wrestling. And tomorrow, somebody will probably talk about SmackDown. And then watch us on
That's
Tuesday.
What we're doing on Saturday.
And then
tomorrow, believe it or not, there is absolutely no show. Saturday, we have the Raw SmackDown show with the Exec Consultant and this man right over here, Vic. And then later that evening, you can join Captain Shay as well as Dan the Man as they talk about AEW Collision each and every single Monday. Mike Knott's show, the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. On Tuesday, UPRE, we already talked about it. We're going to talk about Zootopia and immediately after NXT with Bad Guy Jack as well as the Wrestling Doll. Wednesday, from my understanding, is Wednesday and Thursday. Trio of Destiny is talking about Echo.
You mean,
the show Echo
that comes out. Zoolander?
Did I say Zootopia?
Yeah, you did.
Zoolander on Tuesday. Same movie. Wednesday and Thursday, they're going to talk about Echo.
Oh, because Echo comes out tonight at midnight.
Wednesday, immediately after Dynamite, join Dan the Man, Vinny, whatever he calls himself, as well as Evil Dose as they talk about AEW Dynamite. And then, of course, next Thursday back here where we talk about the Fantastic Four. A little bit of everything for everybody right here on Popular Review. Make sure that you follow us on all our social media. TikTok. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on X. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. And subscribe to us on all our YouTube channels. Unpopular Review Wrestling, Unpopular Review Entertainment, Unpopular Review Sports, because Tuesday we talk football. Ladies and gentlemen, for Vic, for Mike Knox, I'm the Exec Consultant, and we will see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.
You see, this is a moral test of oneself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Get down, get down. You got a corpse in a car, minus a head in the garage. Take me to it.